Camera number 3, live, right here. Look at the superstar we got in the building, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the Cardinal Cowboy gets to do. Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle show, where we're highlighting the leaders in our community. I've seen this guy perform a few times. Mostly at the Honky Tonk. Where was it at?
That's right. Well, I think most recently we saw each other at Main Street Honky Tonk in St. Charles. So shout out to Paul and Dustin for making sure that happens.
They revolutionized the Main Street.
Yeah, they did, man.
Vibe down there, didn't they?
They're tearing it up, and especially with the opening of Little Nashville too. Those guys they're onto something.
I guess I'll make the announcement here public, everybody. People are wondering, where was the Cowboy? I put a post out there that literally came to me and it said, hey, Cowboy is somewhere Nashville, something related. It must be Little Nashville. Well, it was, but Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
I went down to Nashville. A lot of people don't realize. I don't like to tell people out of town when I'm out of town all the time because it's kind of fun surprise things we're going to do. But I got to do all the fun there and made that all happen. So that was fun. But seeing your performance the other night, and I'm always just a straight shooter about what I do things and how I do things.
Well, me too. That's good.
And I looked at him and I go, dude, look up on the screen. You look up and who'd you see on the TV?
You and ABC 30. You're interviewing some local talent. So
yeah, and I said, you need to be on my show. You're good, man.
Yeah.
You're good.
Well, we connected right after that, didn't we?
Yeah, I saw you loading up at the end, and I was driving by going, not on purpose, but I looked back. I'm like, there he is. You came up and we chatted for a second. I'm like, man, get a hold of me. You got good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to promote those in the community that are doing good things, and you obviously fall into that category. So that's why we have you here, and that's why we're doing what we do. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to have Mr. Ethan Carl talk to us about what he's doing in the community and how you got there, really. I mean,
well, that was from a series of unfortunate events, to be honest.
Okay.
I kind of more or less fell into pursuing music. Rewind to 2022. I was working a job I couldn't stand. A gal that I had been with for 6 years took off, and you had as much notice as I did that was going to happen. And no joke, my truck got stolen out of my driveway. New truck, nice, 2019 Ford Ranger, 0% interest. It was a sweet deal. Woke up one morning, it was gone. So between all that, I felt like I was living a country song. You know, I didn't have a dog, but if I did, he probably would have died, given the way things were going.
Okay.
So I thought, why not just go full tilt boogie in something I always wanted to do. And boy, things are starting to evolve. It's a lot of work, but you can always fail at something you hate. So pursuing something that I love gives me a lot of joy.
Okay, so I was doing my thing, getting prepped, and Ethan here got to see our waiting room, our greeting room, which is another room in our facility here that does make it a little easier for us to do that. And God would have it that I listened to one of your songs, and we're gonna give a little prelude to that. We can put it up here on your YouTube channel. He's got all the channels. He's got everything put together. He's doing this right.
Trying to make it happen.
That's how you do it. And like I said, I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but I was going to do the intro. We got past the intro already. So I'm going now, everybody. So here it is. Ready? The song pops up after your song that was, hey, man, I could use a break or something. What was the name of that song that I was listening to? It had a big...
I Could Use a Win?
I Could Use a Win, right?
Yeah.
I could use a win. I could use a break. I need something...
that's a favorite at Main Street Honky Tonk.
There you go. It's got 192,000 views or something. It's pretty good. You're doing well. And then the next song came up because YouTube's like, well, if you like that song, you'll like this song.
Yeah.
Some guy I didn't recognize. I don't know who it is. And then I start listening to it. I'm like, who is this guy? And it ends up being, if you get a chance, take it.
Oh, Cody Johnson?
That's him, right.
Yeah.
You know him better than I do.
Oh, he's the king of country music right now.
Like
red dirt country.
And so literally, I was like, that's life right there. That's what Ethan is out there trying to do. Because if you got a chance, I'm 52 now. My stuff's coming, guys. I got some stuff.
I had you at 32.
I'm 32 now, and plus or minus 20 years. And the truth is, I have stuff going now that was. And I'll share my personal stuff again, everybody. I told a couple of my buddies close. I said there's an event that happened to me about 3 years ago, not 5, not 2.
What are you showing off there?
Not 4. I'm just counting for people. 3. He knows what I'm doing. Look at the rings, everybody. Maybe it'll get your attention. Take note. Here we got our pencil here too. 3 years ago, my dad went up to heaven. And I saw how that went down and what went on and everything that went on without getting into stuff because it's unsettling and there's just some people I'm not trying to get upset with and stuff happens and whatever. But I said, why wait around anymore?
Yeah.
You're in your late 20s.
Yep.
And you're going for it. Why do you feel like this is where you want to go?
Well, I grew up like shower singing. You know, I mean, I was in middle school choir and high school choir, but I mean, it was 26 months ago that I got on a stage singing for the first time, you know, and it was related to those events that happened in my life that I wasn't happy with, you know, and I wanted to make a change. And, you know, the theme in our world seems to be that guys get into their 40s, 50s, and they wish their life was different, but they don't want to make any changes. And, you know, people are scared to make the jump, you know, to leave something that's really stable and to go into something that's a little more volatile. But I feel like that jump was kind of made for me. You know, like these life experiences that I had, I felt like were God telling me, look, you've asked for help. You know, it's going to be uncomfortable, but I'm going to help you, move you in the direction that you're supposed to go. And since then, things have really started to come together a little bit. And, you know, some days I feel like we're gaining some momentum, which is exciting, you know, but we work really hard too. Like we're not just wishing for it to happen. So I'm cautiously optimistic, you know, that if I keep paying my dues, you know, good things are going to come my way.
Yeah, I think you're on the right path. You are doing the things that it takes to make it happen. And to me, it's a matter of, the point is, so many people don't ever take the chance.
Yeah.
I've got my card. It's up on the wall. You can see there it is. Dream and then chase your dreams.
Yeah.
The first part, just about everybody does.
Yeah, everybody's a dreamer.
Everybody dreams. How many people are doing what you are doing in that second part?
Well, my hope is that more people start to do what I'm trying to do, really. I mean, I'm grateful that I don't live a life of wishing I could be doing something else, you know. I mean, there's a lot of days that are stressful, you know, but anything is going to be stressful. You know, I hope more people elect to do what they feel like they were born to do. Growing up, my dad used to say that there's three kinds of people in life. There's those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those who wonder what happened.
I like that one.
You know?
Write that one down, everybody. I've heard that one before, but we have not used it on the show,
Yeah.
to my knowledge. I've only done every single interview for 160 interviews, 3 years straight, and
Yeah.
nobody's made that quote. But that is a great one. And why is that so important?
Well, I mean, I first of all, it gives an element of choice. You know, I mean, other than life, the greatest gift that we have is choice. Like you can choose to be whoever you want to be. You know, and I mean, look at what you're doing, Carter, with the Cardinal Cowboy. I mean, this is a passion project.
A little weird. See this? This is all weird.
Those are your words,
Those
not
are
mine.
but I just try to put it in light perspective because
Yeah.
people think you're being cocky or arrogant, then they don't listen to you. And I have accomplished some amazing things that nobody expected because I was in a coma. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody comes back from that. Or so they say. Proved them wrong. You're doing the same thing though, man. It's a matter of now, what do you think is next? How certain are you're going to make it to the big level?
Well, there's a lot that's out of my control. You know, I'd be lying if I said I didn't believe in myself and my team and my abilities. You know, I mean, it's nice to sing Kumbaya and pat everybody on the back all the time, but there's not a musician in the world that is pursuing this, right, actively, that doesn't believe in themselves. I mean, that's an essential component of success, is to believe in yourself. And you know, I waver in my belief sometimes, like everybody else. I have low moments, but I lean on the people that I love and the people that are close to me, and you know, get right back on track and get back to work.
We all have friends. Some of them are in low places,
I
right?
thought you were going to go with that as soon as I heard the word friends. Shout
That's
out to
right.
Garth Brooks.
That's one of the best songs in the history of the world.
Yeah.
I like that song in particular for a few reasons, but they played it I haven't mentioned this one on my show either before, but they played that song at my good friend's funeral, my buddy who was killed in the car accident that I was involved in when I was in the backseat. He was our driver. And I had a chance to talk to, I went to Nashville.
Yeah.
Is that where you're going to end up someday? You think that might be the time where you spend a little time? I got some connections there now. I've had some connections there for a while. Actually, one guy didn't answer. He was on our show a long time ago. I'll track him down. He's a buddy of mine. Matt Wynn. Matt, check your. It was getting him on New Year's. Matt Wynn's down in Nashville. He was on our show, the Cowboy and Judge, 5 years ago. He's an American Idol champion.
What's his name?
Matt Wynn. Wynn. He's doing great. He wrote a song for.
And Matt won American Idol?
He got further down. He didn't win it, but he was on American Idol. And then
still a champion though.
Yeah. Did I say? I don't know what I said, but yeah, he did well. He was on American Idol. I did not say he won. If I did, I'm clarifying. He didn't win American Idol. He was on American Idol. Let me clarify. And then, but he also recently wrote Reba. He wrote a song that Reba sang.
Oh, sweet.
And so that's kind of Reba McEntire. Ever heard of her?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Check me on that. MATT space WYNN. Look him up. These are the kinds of moves you need to make. Are you writing songs? You're a songwriter.
Yeah.
So, you write songs for anyone else, or all for yourself, or could you write for others?
Well, I'm a free agent. I mean, if somebody wanted to pick up one of my songs, I'd be interested in doing that. But we'll be back in Nashville in a few weeks, recording more music that we'll string out over the course of 2025. So I'm excited about that. But I take a lot of pride in, to date, every original song that I've released, I wrote every word to. It's not like, Joe Smith wrote, I Could Use a Win, and then I sang it. I think the songwriting aspect, adds a level of authenticity, when you're singing something that you wrote yourself, that is hard to replicate. And that's not to discount, people that are singing songs that somebody else wrote, because there's so many hours in a day and there's a lot to do in this business. And trust me, if the right song came across my desk, I would be very interested in recording it. I just co-wrote one with my buddy Jax Jordaning and Josh Cockrum, called Lit Under the Porch Light, which should be pretty fun. And that's not my song, so to speak, but
you were collaboration. Did you?
Yeah,
help write
I was a co-writer.
Okay.
But they say in Nashville, if you write a word, you get a third. So it's songwriting credits can be a little fluid sometimes, but I like to have my hands in all of my projects.
Okay, a lot going on here, because we're trying to help. The show was originally created to try to inspire those to go do this themselves or follow their passion. Because you can see, Ethan, you wouldn't be doing this if you didn't have some passion for this.
For sure.
We talk about it. You said 26 months now you've been going at it.
Might be 27. I got to talk to my accountant, my wife. She's
right.
She's the numbers.
But is that the first time you sang ever? Was 26 months ago? You had to do some work prior to that.
I
do some singing. Blame it all on my roots. I'll show. But where does it all start from? How far back does it go?
Well, I did a lot of shower singing.
That counts. Did you record it?
No,
just audio.
My little sisters might have recorded just the audio, but I hope they didn't. No, I sang in choirs growing up. I did a lot of singing in my truck, and I was a college wrestler. And wrestling's a grind. It's brutal. You're sucking weight. It's cold outside. It's 1,000,000 degrees inside in the practice room. You can't eat. You're working out multiple times a day. I'm still taking 15 college credits a semester, trying to keep my GPA up and graduate and all these things. And to kind of break up the monotony of college wrestling, like almost to myself, really to myself. And I didn't care who was in earshot. I would sing. And I had an assistant coach, his name is George Ivanoff. He just told me, Ethan, you're pursuing the wrong thing. He said, whatever you're doing in your major is, I don't really care. He said, you need to go at this. And at the time, I was like so many other people that might be watching this show. They're like, oh, well, that's nice of him to say, but that's crazy. I could never give up something that's stable, conventionally stable, to pursue something that's a little more volatile. But again, I got to the point in my life where I was like, screw it. I'm going full steam and seeing what I can make happen.
In my estimation, ladies and gentlemen, and take it for what it's worth, but if I gave you the list of things I've accomplished, you would not believe me, because it's a lot of behind the scenes things. I'm running big marketing campaigns and very, very large budgets and stuff for Anheuser-Busch. But I did it all because I never gave up. I kept
Yeah.
pursuing it. I kept going after it, despite what doctors were telling me. And my dad pulled me out of a psychiatrist's office one time after they said, Carter's just not going to be able to do what he was previously capable of. This accident was very serious, and it's called a head trauma, TBI, and just lower your expectations. And my dad said, that doctor should be locked up, is what my dad said.
Maybe he is.
But my point is, you're doing what it takes. You're starting at a younger age than most people. I like the point that you made, because how often is it the case that people don't go after it because
Yeah, it's crazy.
they just
right?
get caught up in the corporate grind, they have kids, whatever it is. You've kind of got to focus here. And let me jump to, if you don't mind, your athletic background. We talk about how sports is so critical, I believe, in the development of any human being.
Yeah.
Or some special novelty thing, like whether it's music as a musician, somebody who actually sings or plays the trombone or whatever they do, that takes you out of the classroom. There's a lot to learn in the classroom, but there's a lot more you learn, I think, about life. My mom finally helped me understand. I go, why do you love your drama? You get to teach drama to kids. She goes, Carter, I'm helping kids produce something.
Yeah.
To learn how to run a business, really. And they take what I teach them in here. You got to produce this, and you better move these, and these sets got to put together, and the deadline is here, and this has got to get done.
Yeah. Well,
Likewise, sports for you. You were an All-American athlete.
yes, I was a Division II All-American wrestler for Maryville University, just down the road here in St. Louis. But wrestling, I feel like, has set me apart from a lot of other people that are trying to do what I'm trying to do. I mean, the parallels between wrestling and music are endless.
Really?
Oh,
Explain that for
yeah.
me.
Well, I mean, most people think you're crazy, for trying to do it. I mean, most people...
I don't mess with wrestlers. I know a few. But yeah, I'm glad they're my friends, because if you want, come get me. I'll send some of my wrestlers after
Well,
you.
I mean crazy, too, in the sense that, there's so many easier things to do, than wrestle. And, for a lot of musicians, and I will not let this be the case for me, there's no glory in music. Well, there's certainly no glory in wrestling. NIL has changed things drastically.
Right.
But there's no Major League Baseball for wrestling. There's no NFL. There's no NHL. There's nothing like that. It's, the glory is the immense satisfaction that you get inside. And only thing I can really compare it to is, we've mentioned Garth Brooks a couple times. It's the old 80s, 90s songs about rodeo, and just the grind of there's something
It's a
in
danged
you.
old rodeo.
Yeah, there's just something inside of you that you can't, like, your soul needs it, And so I think that parallel from the sport of wrestling has translated for me in music too, and also just the hard work and the discipline, and nobody cares, work harder, right? Like, if you're not getting what you want, that sucks for you, go figure it out. It takes what it takes, and things are going to be hard, but they're going to be worth it, when you keep just plugging away.
This young man is hitting on all the right notes, and that's why I talk about it, because sports, again, note, my mom was also an English and speech teacher.
Okay, sweet.
And I just told her, I'm like, that's wonderful. Speech, I could get, that's a little more active, but English, man, I was just like, gosh, why are you making me sit in this class?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about my mom, that's what she does as a profession. And I do think it's important to understand English, well-spoken, communicate well, all that.
Communication is key in anything.
That's why I got my master's in media communications. I laugh at my buddies. They're like, you're never going to get a job. I'm like, I've made more money than all you dudes. Because the communication is so important. If you don't communicate. But back to, like, just the virtue of just sitting in a classroom, there's a lot there that can be learned that is not learned because it's monotonous. The kids are just sitting there.
It's brutal.
Staring at a wall, looking at a chalkboard, whatever it used to be back
Yeah.
how old am I, But
Chalkboard.
but look,
You probably had overhead projectors too. Did you?
listen to this guy. Yes, love it. True. No, I don't know. We had
just
that. We had the. No, we had those things that had like the little cellophane clear and
The abacus?
I don't even know. No, the abacus. No, that's a different culture. That I never got. I wasn't smart enough for the abacus. But literally, I mean, I love the teaching. Teachers are amazing. I just ran into a teacher. She identified me in Memphis. I'm sorry, in Nashville. Are you the Cardinal Cowboy from St. Louis? I'm like, yeah. She goes, oh my gosh, I'm from St. Louis. Mizzou weekend.
Yeah.
Because the Tigers were playing. They won that bowl game. Crazy field goal kicker. Mm-hmm. That's what I did. And she said, these kids just need somebody to believe in them. They need to believe in themselves. I'm like, that's what I talk about. She goes, we're going to have you come in and speak. And I'm not naming who it was because it may or may not happen, but I'm pretty sure it's going to. She was pretty adamant. But I think you learn so much. But by being, my point of this, I'm getting to a point here, I promise everybody. And that is when you learn the discipline about being a champion, when you become the best wrestler at whatever level you're at, and it's never, I mean, I would argue, NAIA, Division II, Division I, they're all 3 percentage points away from each other. And then it's like who had a better day that day, who had more natural talent but didn't qualify. So he didn't go to NCAA Division I. He went to NAIA, but he's a better athlete, just didn't get the grades. And then vice versa, and everything that mixes up. Most of this comes down to, and this is another great point I think we'll make. We're 21 minutes in now. We've got 7 minutes left.
We covered some ground,
Did we cover everything? I know we've got a lot more to talk about. But how much of life do you believe is you make a commitment in your mind that this is the way it's going to be, and you stick with it, and if you do so, it will. Versus, I don't know, it's not fair.
This culture we have of it's okay to suck your thumb and just hope that things will happen for you. I don't buy it, and I've had as many lows as the next person, but you got to be able to take something negative that happened, compartmentalize it, use it for good, and move on. And that's what I'm trying, and that's what you've shared that you've done, Carter.
I'm pointing my pencil at this young man.
Yeah. Just don't poke me.
This guy is hitting on it, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, but that's not wrong. And there's elements of our culture that are saying that's wrong, but it's not wrong.
Well, they do that on purpose to keep more people dependent.
Yeah.
So that they can keep them stuck.
No,
there's a lot of money made by people that do that.
I'm big on empowering people. I'm big on empowering people. I mean, this past year, my band and I have opened for Zach Top, Sarah Evans, Braxton Keith, Mitchell Tenpenny, Travis Tritt, Tiger Lily Gold, and others too, But we work really hard. We lean on each other, and we do everything we can do to make it happen. I mean, we're all hitting the phones all the time, and anything that we find out will help get us from A to B, we're trying to do. And so I think that is something, circling back, learn through sports, learn through extracurricular activities, and things that you can carry with you into life.
We got to show some of his work here, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes left. This is his YouTube channel up on the wall here. I'm going to put this for you guys. Can see his channel now. We're off camera, but you can hear us talking. Here's a list. Most recently, 6 days ago, Wishing You Were Here, official lyrics, Ethan Carl. Right next to Jesus and You, that one's a couple weeks old. Here's the one we're talking about, 119,000. I could use, my screen's blocking me a little bit.
I could use a win.
I could use a win. There it is.
Yeah.
And my TV wall up here. That's where I'm reading this on. And then on down the list, you've got 100 and something videos out here. Let me click on the videos tab. But this is just your YouTube. 4,000 subscribers there, 138 videos. And then you get over to, and you're putting them everywhere. That's good. And there's another thing called TikTok. How many of you guys have heard of this, right? Here it is. And it says, refresh. Let's see what it says here. But there, look at these clips and a lot of great stuff you're doing out there. Some comedy stuff, too. You're doing some fun, just entertaining.
Well, we're trying to branch off and do, show I'm a person, too, I mean, I like to sing and play songs and spend some time with my wife as much as possible, but we're also trying to show, the goofy side of things, too. I'm curling my niece in that TikTok video.
Well, tell him, everybody, if he needs help at the gym here, hang out with the Cardinal Cow. But you look like you've done well. A wrestler, not too far out. How long ago was that? The last time you wrestled? 7 years ago?
My last competitive match was 2019.
Okay.
So, math.
5, 6.
Yeah, 5 years, 6 years. But my dad's an my dad's a head wrestling coach at Maryville University.
Okay.
As much as I can, which is very rarely, I go in and work out with his team, and so I try to stay fit. I think that's an important part of
I was just about to say that we talk about how muscular we are. We're not talking about being healthy.
Yeah.
Because if you're not healthy, you can't do anything. At least you got your health, they always say, right? Well, how critical is that? Because if you can't sing, you can't perform, you can't work. Everybody stay healthy. It's good for you as a human to do so. With that, I want to share a little bit here on the wall behind us. The TV wall number 2. This is the main wall. Here it is. EthanCarl.com, right? I'm going to scroll down here to show everybody a little bit what's going on. But here, tell me a little bit about what your website shows everybody and you're sharing with everybody.
Website? That's my beautiful wife in the center there. I got to make sure I call out Stephanie. She lets me. She doesn't let me quit and lets me do what I love to do for a living. That's our latest music video that's out everywhere. YouTube, Facebook. Oh, get the part of me crying at the wedding out of there. Let's just keep that moving. But anyway, website's kind of like our home base for all things that are Ethan Carl, and we've got our schedule at the top. When we have ticketed shows, we've got a link for the ticketed shows. We've got our merchandise store, all in one central location.
Well, it sounds like, it looks like it is absolutely the case. You have everything in order that most musicians do not have any of this stuff going on. But that shows you're very serious about what you're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, I'm not playing around, and I've been described as too intense for some people, and if that's how they feel, then that's how they feel. But,
welcome to the club. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's how you get things done. But
I'm loving the journey.
Okay, everybody, we're down to a minute and 50 seconds left here. I could talk to Ethan for another 2 weeks with all of the fun stuff he's got going. I have a passion for music. I'm also an excellent singer, not nearly as good as this guy. I'm actually okay. I had somebody say to me, you could actually sing a little bit. Why don't you come up on stage with us? And I did that for a while with a band and all kinds of fun stuff. My passion
Man, you've done a lot of things.
And it all focused towards one thing, and that is to inspire and encourage everyone on our little planet to get the most out of their life.
To build their own little castle. Right?
To build their... Cha-ching! This guy knows what we're talking about. You need to build write it down, everybody, build your little castle. Ethan will help you to enjoy that and bring you along the way and follow his path, because that's how you inspire help. And when you do things nice and help other people, inspire them, it's interesting, man. I walk into places now and they're like, dude, I held this time and you did this and you helped this kid and you were there. I love what you do. I don't even know these people, but they know me from what I do. You're doing a very similar thing, and music is so important for that, I think.
Yeah.
Because when you have that inspiration, that message you can convey, and that's done most often through music these days.
Yeah.
We're not going to all sit down and listen to a lecture. We're not going to sit down and listen to a speech, but we'll listen to music. And give us right now a couple of songs you got. We got 15 seconds left.
Well, I would check out some of the new work. I'd check out Moving Too Fast. I'd check out Jesus Plus You, Steph's song. My mother-in-law, she's a little partial to that one. Check out Who Knows Who Cares as well. So if I got a minute,
yeah, 10 seconds.
I'd like to say thank you to 4-6's Grit and Glory and Dive Bomb Industries.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. These are the kind of leaders we want in our community. Step up, let me know. Reach out to me. We might be able to put you on our show sometime. Stay tuned for more, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.